do up, I get up over the edge, you say, and the guy was reeling up the stuff.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. No, seriously, don't mention it. You're a friend with a Fargo. You're just lucky I happen to be here. Of course, you don't understand a word of it because he doesn't understand a word of what you just said. So you got to remember, you don't speak their language. This is killing you, but you gotta. Yes.
It's so frustrating.
Hey, Urson! Almost had a fish!
The name is Telius. Not that you would care.
Hey, Telius!
Cat.
There was almost a fish here!
Does he like fish? Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea.
So when I say there was
Fish slapping is a bear's favorite job.
if you know what he means.
Oh, God.
Ever seen a bear standing next to the river? There goes another one flying across the wall.
All right.
That's called fish swiping.
Same thing. Slapping the fish.
Start right. You have a call that finish climbing out. Yeah.
Well, you finally climbed back through the next one up and out. So are we leaving now? Did you get what you wanted?
Almost.
You don't know if you want it, though.
We need to.
Of course, I didn't understand what you said. Outside. Outside, literally, I really don't want it.
You're down there. You just barely got out of the liquid,
Okay.
and they're all there. He's already climbing. You're already climbing.
You're gonna need it.
Climbing, I'm with him.
You can't climb right now.
You got a rope around your ankle.
Hole in your shoulder.
I'm floating.
You're like a balloon.
He's floating, yeah. He didn't have to climb.
You didn't have to climb it. Oh, you've got a balloon.
Yeah.
But just keep them on it.
We'll probably have to.
Do me a favor. Let it go.
Hey, it is frozen.
Let it go. Let it go.
We hear you, man.
Her name is Elsa.
Dude, you need to tie the rope to his waist, then tie the rope to your
Sophia.
waist. He'll be above you. See if when you take a jump, he slows your fall.
What, Travis? Hey, so we got sound back.
We got sound back?
I
Yay!
see we got sound back. I don't know
Oh.
what we did, but yay, glad we have sound back.
Hey.
Darn,
All right.
my plan did not work.
Hi, Travis, we miss you.
I kind of.
Thank you for fixing that. I don't know what went wrong, but make sure you leave me a note so I know what it was. We had quite a few followers earlier, so we're not doing it right now. So thanks for coming back. Thanks for putting that back for us. So
You're the best. I'm currently.
Well, I'm just gonna relax. I'm not injured. I might as well just relax.
She pulls her pitons.
Okay.
She coils up a rope. She unties the bull and I.
As soon as she relaxes, now that you feel the tension, she's pulling you upward.
What?
Her weight is now at the end of that rope, pulling you upward.
So if I. What?
So
You're pulling
gravity
me
is
up.
working complete reverse.
Yeah.
So instead of weighing 130 pounds going down, you're 130 pounds going up.
I try to control.
Oh,
Yeah,
that means
sense.
that means it's basically like a free climbing in reverse. You
Yeah.
can probably use her to help.
Yeah, like like repelling, but outside, repelling upwards.
It's moonwalking. You can do the jump because you're 130 pounds less.
Except that when you like give over to her, you'll actually be pulled away from the wall as well.
Just be careful.
Yeah, you don't want that. Then you both go into free fall up.
I know more than that. Is her pull stronger than the gravity weight on me?
No, you're heavier than she is, so you're able to hold
Thank
it.
God
I'm just
for
saying.
armor.
Okay.
Because you got chainmail, right?
And your
That's 65
mass.
pounds.
Your mass.
Finally, after quite a bit of struggle, you guys finally get back to the surface. You have a silver girl on a string.
Floating.
A half silver elf. That's really funny. A half silver, half elf. And a
Where's the rest of you?
silver armed.
Yeah, again.
I know you haven't told anybody, but he already ratted you out.
He ratted.
He did say something.
He did say something. But he was
Nobody
saying
paid attention.
No, he said it in your language, so I just talked about it.
Okay. Do we still understand each other?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, he's an enemy. So I can't mess with him.
He abandoned you. I warned you the last time you did this like that I wouldn't rescue you. And I'm letting you know, I didn't rescue you. I went down there for ice, and I went down there for the paladin.
That's
Not for you.
Alright.
You
I feel like she's
continue
talking
to
about
make
me.
dangerous choices
can't
that
understand.
jeopardize us
She-
ever reaching
she's talking
Ambridge
about
in
you.
time.
You're saying she went down to save you,
And the next time, you're going to be left
If-
behind.
if you
I
needed
don't
her
care.
help. But not for him, or not for her.
I would
Not for
consider
And
you,
she's
though.
coiling up a rope.
Not
She's
for
making
Fred.
all her stuff neat, taking out the crampon, pulling out the piton, repacking her pack just so.
I'm gonna.
So from a purely pragmatic standpoint, the only thing really that you've learned is that little nylon thing that she calls that twine is really strong.
Stronger than your rope.
You're impressed that it was.
Might
Must-
use it next time,
if she gives it to you.
if there's a next time.
We must be off and away from this silly place. We still have many. We
She
don't have
looks
much
at your
time
hair
to get
all of
there.
a sudden.
We do need to trudge on.
Oh, thank
Dang
God
it.
it's
I'm gonna
not
try to see
white.
if I can use
And his
the.
skin isn't dark, she says, in her language.
Wait, what?
Doesn't change anything.
She says,
When you
Thank
say it in
God.
English, it almost seems a
his
little.
hair isn't white, and he doesn't have dark skin.
Oh, what's the you're talking
Elric
about?
of Melnibor.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's nothing in your language.
I'm talking to you.
A
Say nothing in your language.
fictional character in a book.
Okay.
One too many syllables there. Fictional. Not
What?
fictional. Fictional.
Fictional.
Fictional.
So Elric,
Elric of Melnibor.
what is your
Oh.
goal? Are you going to join us to Anchorage, or are you going to go back with the Urson?
I'll
The name's Telius, cat.
I'll move.
The name
towards,
is Ice Shelf.
Well, why didn't you say that, Ice? Ice,
I was
baby.
I was falling down a hole.
Ice. Ice. Who? Oh, I don't
Someone's
know if we
phone's
have
going
who
off.
yet.
Oh, it's me.
You could just talk to us, and then we can talk to
Probably
them.
Matt. Probably Travis.
No.
Oh, hell. That's good. We can learn more words.
All right.
That was.
We now have a translator.
Yep, the flukes. It's
Yeah,
I'm like
what-
your boss. You just have to hold on to me.
That was weird.
Oh,
'Cause it's not saying it now, but it was saying that I was getting a call from Gameology.
That's weird.
That is weird.
What was that?
I have got one of
Getting
those
called.
before. It was weird.
I'm inside the building. It's like a
Well,
horror
they,
movie.
They're
they do
inside.
that when you order something and it comes in. So it could, like, I think Sean is supposed to take over at one point tonight. So it could just be he's calling saying something came in. Because there's
Or it
one
could be Travis called the store.
possible.
Okay. Anyway, Ice. Ask Ice who's the bear person.
Ice.
Yes.
She wants to know who the fuck this guy is. Sorry, who this
Who
person?
the bear person is.
Who the bear person is?
Tea Leaves,
TV.
his traveling guide.
His traveling guy.
Chile. Well met. Tell
She-
him well met.
She said, "Oh wait, is this?" She's saying to the bear now.
Yes.
It says "well met."
Uh,
To you, yes.
She doesn't speak common.
No, doesn't speak.
Oh, I'll
Is
buy
it
her
like-
off you.
Huh?
I'll buy her off of you. Did you find her?
No, we didn't.
I'm asking this in common.
Yeah. It's like
If you tell her, I will smite you.
Common, do you speak it?
she doesn't. She's not property.
I don't know. You heard the broadcast, right?
Ooh. Yeah, I heard it.
Do
Doesn't
the
mean
Earth
you
signs concern themselves with things that don't matter to survival?
He looks over. The Telius looks at you and goes, "Do the feline always ask too many questions about what other people decide?"
Yeah.
Is that the Earth sign way of
You
saying
look.
that
You
they're
have one
curious?
choice. You're traveling with a competent, well-trained guide,
or are you going to hang out with this cat?
That's the same thing you just said.
Does it matter as long as I'm paying?
Yes. Because one, I'm no longer getting paid.
Ask Ice
Because
if
we're
these
here.
others would
No, because
join
that's here.
They're not gonna join us. He's Mike, but the other guy is
us.
racist.
Wait a
I
minute.
need to stay with.
Would you ask Ice what I told you to ask?
Okay.
I'm telling you, what's that? Okay.
I need to follow the elf.
He brushes his hands, brushes
What
the
else?
snow from his hands, shakes the snow from his fur, and says, "Good day, gentlemen. You will receive my receipts in Anchorage." And he walks off into the snow.
Bye.
With your travel
T,
left there.
before you go, I toss him a flask of blubber oil for heat.
Can I toss some
We
food
we both go.
Right.
The tribes go back and forth, but we at least have the mutual respect of we care we're just like the best friends. We constantly shit on each other, but we still.
I would like to give him
Going.
some meat before he leaves.
Oh, this is, I have to spare.
We're like vampires.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
that's
You're
what
gonna-
we're
you have-
it's
I-
whale oil.
He
Basically.
says,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
"You have another Teflgor, and if you have a Teflgor, you'll have more trouble than you have your hands full." You don't know what that word means, but he knows that a Teflgor is a insult suggesting that these are extra weights. It's the stuff you put on the bottom of a ship the bottom of an ice skiff to keep it steady in a storm.
Anchors.
That you've accepted an extra Teflgor for your trouble.
This one's lighter than the other one. You want the other one?
Heck no, you're on your own. The only one I want is that one, but you won't sell it. So
I'd sell you the other one.
no, you couldn't. No, just no. He walks away.
I was gonna offer
What
him
was
the
that
metal
about?
man.
Okay, so
He doesn't even see it.
I
the
know.
guy
That's,
wants to buy you.
that's why I can do it without any reprisal.
You want-
Tell him I'm 10,000 gold.
He said, "Excuse me. The woman's offer is if you give her 10,000 gold, you can have it."
That is ridiculous.
Hey, she's one of a kind, may I add. She is one of a kind, probably.
No, he uses a word that sounds. It even sounds.
It denotes
nasty.
bad.
Yes. So
So he said no.
You could go yourself.
it's a prostitute who is free. That's what he suggests because she's willing to pay money for her own. No.
I'm gonna rub the meat against
He
my
says, no, thank you.
against like a piece
The
of
silver?
She
does
looks at
nothing.
you and goes, ah!
Maybe it was still wet.
Alright. I'm gonna try
But he's coming with us.
lay on hands.
Which one?
The
On
cure
On
disease.
yourself?
5 on my face.
5.
So that'll be your second use, and you're level 2.
But no, I'm level 3.
Okay, so you only got 5 more points after that. Keep in
You
mind.
Wait.
You get 5 per level,
Yeah, right.
He's level 3.
and you used 1 on there, and because you need 5 in order to cure poison or
He knows.
disease. And I'm just saying,
Use 5 on her.
keep in mind.
I didn't use
I thought you said.
No.
Oh, my bad. Then never mind.
This is
Did
your
you use
first fight.
5 on her
This is first
earlier before this injury?
As soon as you cast it, you'll what's it called involuntarily scream in agony as you feel. As a paladin, the one thing that you fear more than anything else is that God will abandon you. And as you rip the fight, as you cast that as a removed disease, you feel for a few seconds the abject aloneness of no longer having God.
God's a disease.
Wow. God is magic. You gotta be crying, man.
I'm just gonna
Jesus
be
inside you.
confused.
And then as it clears, you can no longer understand. So she goes back to speaking gibberish, and the stuff clears from your skin.
Look at
So you cure
So
yourself.
my face or my everything?
It clears your skin.
The silver.
Now you guys see him shriek, basically fall to one knee, and a black cloud ascends away from him and dissipates into the air.
Black?
Black.
That's
Gunpowder.
I'm good up there.
Religion check or to
Sure.
see.
I take one step back because I don't want to breathe it.
No.
Can I do a wisdom check on what just happened?
No. 7.
Unless you have religion, no. You wouldn't have it.
That would be intelligence.
Intelligence check.
No, religion is intelligence.
Oh, religion is intelligence. So.
Sorry, proficient.
Or arcane. Oh, I do have arcane. Can I do an arcane check?
What are you wanting to check?
I want to check what just came out of him, honestly.
It just dispersed and blew away.
Or what happened to him in a sense. Like, why he screamed it. I guess that's a nice check. Huh.
Clear the silver off of it.
He cleared the silver off. That's basically all you get.
Alright, cool. Alright.
Sorry.
Well, this is going to happen to me next. Is there anything you want to know and tell them before I...
I wonder, does the godless one lose God? When you do the cure.
Is there anything you want me to tell them before I don't have the ability to talk to you anymore? Is there anything important that
Wait,
we
you
should know?
don't want to be the clicky girlfriends that can
Yes.
communicate with each other?
I would love that, honestly, but I'm going to fly
The
away.
next time you jeopardize this mission, you're going to be left behind.
Well, he's still being tethered by the end of a rope.
Tell
He's
him.
still being pulled towards the sun.
Right. If I say something, she can understand it. Like when I talk to them, she can understand the language I'm telling them.
No.
Okay, cool. She says she loves me and she wants me to be here, and she says you have to protect me because there's in more. She has
True
immense
chaotic.
truths
True chaotic.
that you have to. You don't know yet, but there's something very important, and she would have told you if you didn't hurt yourself.
Why do I feel like you're lying to us?
Can I do an insight check
You can make an insight check because this one's already lied some. So.
on him?
Why would you incite
Well,
him when
yeah.
she's talking?
I'm the one
Because
talking.
I want to know how good of a person he is.
That's
That's
you're
not how
trying to
insight
detect
works.
alignment, and it's not how
Like-
it works.
You want to
Or-
check my alignment? This is
I know, I know you're.
You,
so I already know I can't trust you.
Okay, and then I go to her and go.
Guys.
About his alignment. There's no question.
So my question as just another player is, what reason do you have to mistrust Eldrick?
What?
Why do you
Elric.
mistrust Elric?
Oh, I don't know if I trust him enough to give him the rope.
Oh, so you think he's gonna steal with me?
Oh, no. I'm like, because I'm thinking of.
Just ask him. Don't have to worry about that. You guys trust
Roleplay.
in reality is role play. So
That's what I'm getting at.
I start untying slowly, like holding on still. Like,
right, you got the rope. So just
You honor, right?
Yeah, sure. And it's my rope. Oh no, it's your rope. Isn't
And
it?
it's
That's his
I
rope.
haven't got my rope back.
How much do you weigh?
Oh wait.
On the first date, you're gonna ask?
Right.
Seems kind of rude.
A little over 200 pounds.
Okay.
Especially with my armor.
You should be good then. Go ahead and tie yourself on.
Okay.
He's a cleric too.
okay.
I let him.
So
Hold on, let's see what happens here.
So now, the sun is
Nimbus.
south of us.
Well, yes, it's
Over
off the horizon.
line.
So that's where
No, it's going up.
she's being
Still being
pulled
drawn
from.
up.
Oh, just straight up or towards the south.
Well, it would be vaguely southbound.
So we could tie her to a sled,
That's correct.
and then
and she can just pull us into town.
Just strap all 4 arms and legs to the thing.
Wait,
as
aren't we
a
It'd be
sail.
probably be kind of slow.
I thought we were going
Well-
north to Anchorage.
Anchorage is south.
Ice
Anchorage is
Shelf has a rigger. It's a 3-bladed ice rig.
But it's unfortunately fit for 1. Maybe 2 if we're really going on the lighter side.
Well, and you're going to have to abandon all that load of loot because you don't have heart to carry it.
Maybe
He's
we
not
can
here.
take some
That's
of
a
them.
good question to start asking. What happened to heart? Because the other people don't even know who
I
heart
don't
is.
know. We haven't had time to look. Sometime during the upheaval, I lost sight of them.
Somebody
But
created a vine growing down, and we had a bit of an issue. So we haven't had real time to look for.
Yeah, we haven't had the
So
time.
this is
I would
actually-
like to look for it.
We lost communication with Arts.
Just a moment. I mean, he could have fallen down a crevasse. We haven't had time to look. I'd like to check some of the closest ones, especially around where the pack is.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Because he was carrying the
For
pack.
any marks and
You're talking. You don't have a conversation with him. Stop. You can only talk to her.
What's happening
Would
now?
you tell them that I'd like to look for Hart before we go? Because we can't move that pack without him.
And she can't leave without the translator because this is going to kill her when she can't talk to you guys anymore.
So she wants to look for Hart because they want
of
to.
course. Let's do it.
All right. He said okay.
So what I finally like.
She's going to start where the pack is.
She's gonna start where the pack is and move
Out from there.
Can I give
out
her
from
a
there.
Can I help her?
Sure.
So what
Right.
do you do? What are you like?
I'm a scout.
Do you have magic where you come from?
Magic.
I know a ventriloquist.
You know, woo!
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
As he's floating, I know. As she's floating on the end of the rope, you don't have like magic, and she's hanging upside down.
I'm talking to you, and I'm
She
like,
thinks it's some property of a strange metal that might be anti-gravity.
metal, but it's metal.
You know,
You're
that's
silvered.
her
Yeah.
thinking. It's silvery, it's some sort of metal, it might be anti-gravity by nature. Self-cohesive, but anti-gravity when it's on a human.
Ooh.
Magic,
Wow.
Solomon magic, you know, finger wiggler.
That is racist.
It is racist.
Finger
That is
wiggler.
really racist.
No, we actually in iteration 7 that actually was a racist slur against Magic
Fingler.
Master. Finglers.
I feel
Because
offended
you-
right
How
now.
dare you?
I feel
Okay.
uncomfortable.
Tell ice
You don't
This
believe
is
in
200.
magic.
It's not real.
This is 215.
127.
This
Oh,
is 127
This is 127.
or 5,000.
This is a modern era. 127.
We
Okay,
live in
so
a
what do you want me to
modern-
tell him now?
What?
What do you want me to tell him?
Alaric, you're a cleric, right?
Ask him if
So-
there's magic in this world.
The one who coined.
The silver is becoming kind of a grayish color,
Oh,
and you guys are starting to have difficulty with understanding one another.
Quick, ask him.
Is there magic in this world?
you're floating.
Yes, there's magic in this world. I got. She's the one that wanted me to ask. So shut up.
Do you believe in
She doesn't say
magic?
anything. She just turns, starts at the pack and starts working.
If you want me to ask them before I lose contact, and you can't say anything, it's gonna be hard.
What I want to say is not polite.
While he's up at the elevation, he can see a dim yellow glow at the end of the crevasse nearest you.
Okay,
Ooh.
what?
Freya,
What?
tell Valara to spell her name.
How do you spell your name?
On
V.
to write it.
To write your name.
He writes V. She traces in the edge. She's got a dagger. V. A.
So you show how to do it in your language.
R.
Okay, wait. I can say. Okay, say V. A.
No.
I can't tell.
Because the term won't mean anything. The sound. But what's interesting is that the only letter that looks familiar to any of them would be the A from NASA. If none of the other letters match.
Awesome.
Awesome.
No, the S. There's no S, so just A.
The end looks similar, but it's a V. Is the
Oh.
problem.
I'm
sorry.
Ah.
Well, there's a reason.
Ah.
So it looks like
La.
Valara. That's her name.
Yes, Valara. Good. There we go. Last opportunity to figure out how her name is actually spelled without that translator box, because we did establish that it tends to have a problem with garbling.
Mhm.
It translates the most literal way.
Right.
So now that you have the perfect way.
First name.
We have the accurate.
Last name. Last name. Thor.
So, do you want to use lay on
Send.
hands on her?
Thorson.
Nothing there except for
Well,
the
he's a
N.
cleric.
S and N.
Yeah,
So she's
I don't
Valar
have
Thorson.
hands.
Thorson.
Hands?
Valara,
Clerics don't get long
Thorson.
hands; they just
Thorson.
get more spells.
she doesn't use
He's
your
a
middle
finger.
name.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man.
Alright.
Damn, that's so cool.
So the good news is that the gray stuff seems to be drying to a kind of a powdery gray instead of a shiny gray.
So I'm pulling it off now.
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's softening. It's looking more like flesh, just kind of a grayish color to your skin.
Is she starting to descend?
That's what I meant.
or...
Yes.
Do you want me to?
So-
No, but you did see light
And-
shining in the
I
bottom.
know.
Right. And you found you.
Tell me.
Oh, there's light. There's light down. There's like yellow light down there.
You're able to
where?
figure out where he is.
Okay, we figure out where he is. She takes out the pitons. How about how far down? She crawls to
Almost
the
as
edge.
far down as the other one, and he's about 14, 15 feet away from the edge of the lake.
God damn it.
So we're gonna have to go back around.
Yeah, let's. I've done the plan.
Everyone, Hart will be fine. He's come back before. We will find him on the way. Anchorage is mere days out, and we don't have the time. We must leave the supplies. If he catches up, he'll bring them.
Okay.
But we must take with us what
Can
we
we
can
leave a
carry.
rock path? Or like at least the
No,
area?
there's no rocks around.
With
it.
any luck, we will
Wait,
lose
is
him.
there
I mean, he will find us.
I'll tell you what. Can she find ice chunks?
Oh no, not in an ice plane. You won't find any ice chunks
Well, fine.
anywhere.
I'm getting some
Is there
ice
rocks?
chunks.
Can you blow up?
I'm
or something?
laying down a V with arrow.
I got you.
Arrow, one to the pack, and then an arrow towards where we're going in chunks of ice.
Two
I figure it's so
different-
darn cold up here, they're not going to move.
I yell out to Hart. Hart! Hart! We're going to Anchorage.
Lights just blink a couple times.
Do you need help?
Blink twice for yes.
Blink twice for yes.
Light just stays yellow.
Stay yellow if you want us to go ahead without you.
You whisper it.
If you want us to go ahead without you, blink 3 times.
I'm not going to make a player make a decision when he's not
that's why.
here.
That's why.
That's why I just
That's
gave
why
you. I gave you the out.
Okay.
He's fine.
It's fine.
Fine. We're moving.
You've already. The main thing I wanted to see is whether you're going to abandon the gear. If you're abandoning the gear and letting him bring it, then that's fine. You've already made that decision.
But
Let's move on. Don't. It's what you said, and that's fine.
Well, that's what I
can't.
said.
I didn't hear what he said.
You don't get to know. He's not here.
yeah.
Well, then where's my translator? I
He
thought it's
has it.
always with me. He has it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I got it.
You have to wait for him to
I'm
catch
your
up.
translator right now.
Not
For
for
the
long.
next 3
Yeah.
seconds.
Well,
Valara,
you have more liquid. apparently.
Trust.
Trust what?
Alright.
It says trust.
Trust.
No, she
No,
we're moving
literally
forward.
she says it in our language.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
No, I say it in Fargo because that's what you taught me.
That's true.
True.
Fargo, and I say in Fargo
So
too.
she says it in our tongue.
Yeah, and I,
Not yours.
I know, but I still have to spell it technically a little bit. I mean, can I say in his tongue or with the Fargo tongue?
Yes.
No.
We
Okay.
use it when communication is scarce.
We move on.
Now
We
No.
have her best interest at heart, but otherwise we must.
we have to
Press
take
on.
food.
We have to take food. Look,
Well, I have to take.
He's already got his
There's a
already.
dead freaking caribou half frozen in the snow right here.
That's not enough for all of us. For
But you're only going a few more days, and if you're trusting Hart to bring it, you don't have to worry about it.
just take a piece and let's go.
You're a planner. I get that. This is not a world where that's
Yeah.
going to happen. So
I'm not a planner.
she is
obviously,
a planner and
I
an
know.
organizer, and that's why she is where she is.
I'll take 7 days or 7 days worth of meat.
there's not enough. You
You know how some people say
7 days
to
per
be
person.
prepared.
That's a lot.
for
Oh,
peace,
no, I meant for myself.
must, to have peace, you must
Again.
be prepared for war. To survive, you must be.
You're
prepared.
not from this climate. You don't realize how much you would have to eat.
You actually, a single day you actually have to burn a lot of calories in order to survive the harsh temperature
I
because your
know
body is
exactly
constantly
how many
regulating.
calories
Huh.
we would have to burn.
Yeah.
I would have. To burn.
So in theory, you'd probably be able to get maybe 3 each before you're over encumbered.
And that's the reason why you said that the whole point of talking about Hart at all is that Hart can carry all the gear necessary. You just need to make for the first couple of days until he catches up with you, right?
Yeah.
So you got a caribou, which is more than enough for that purpose.
Okay.
Because he was thinking of only hunting the way he would hunt for survival for him and her, which was all he was intending to hunt for. The fact that you are along, yes, you could take some from the other meat source, but it's not a matter of making it. I'm trying not to make it as hyper technical as necessary because Hart will bring it.
You're right.
The player is not able to be here, so it's not fair to make him responsible for it. So you can't ask him to do it. He's not here to answer.
Now, what about your gear? This is metagame.
He had
Did you
enough
leave
from
your stuff?
he had enough from Telios.
Okay.
He's equipped to carry for himself.
Ooh, thank you. Arcana cards
And cleric.
cards.
So it's the spellbook cards.
Let's
Huh?
move on then.
So the only downside.
And Matt, you have some stuff.
Okay, I'll check it out in a second.
So that was what the call was for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Isn't that neat?
Well, it's
So-
funny because
I
it's
now
something
have
I'm
the
thinking of
Shatterhorn
it doesn't release till
cards.
tomorrow.
I have
Ralph
Fred.
to
Now I just have to
Anchorage.
get paladin cards.
All right.
So
So
I dress the caribou in the meat
Next reporting.
so that I can divvy it up so everyone gets a fair portion.
and by the time you get all of the stuff arranged and ready to travel, this one has descended back to the ground. Skin is a slate gray color, and you're not feeling any cold.
Not feeling cold?
You don't feel the cold.
Oh, wow.
That might be a bad sign. That might be a good sign. Let's see how it plays out.
Sometimes there's not feeling, and yet you are. And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
yes.
most dangerous
Do
one
you
of
want
all.
me to lay on hands on you?
No. That's not what happened to you.
I'm gonna save one of the caribou horns.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put on the fur because I knew, like, this weather, this doesn't make sense.
Those horns.
What?
The
Caribou.
horns of the
The auroch, the pairs of horns.
Could they be used like a yoke to carry weight?
Oh, the bones
Yes.
break it.
Yeah. So yeah. 'Cause
No,
it's
they're
not a
they're
fur.
rather monstrous, but they're bigger than you could carry. They're like 6 feet wide.
Let's just push on.
Some yoke, huh?
Yeah, be great for a couple of horses,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not for a person.
Okay.
Well, at least we have a lot of fur now. Right?
Yeah, we'll have to take the first.
Here's your 2 days.
Thank you. I still
Yeah.
have, like,
And
other
if
days.
she's
I
still
gave
got a
you a little
problem,
bit of an eye.
she's just wrapped in a fur.
Nothing but protein.
Unless
She's
you,
really not
unless
that
you, unless you or Ice Shelf provide assistance, everyone else is in danger out here because they're not prepared to dress for the climate. Remember,
Yes.
up
She
until now,
will-
you've made it so they could
she
survive.
She does have some extra clothes.
I
She
just
pulls
need
them
you.
out.
All I need is for you guys to determine that you're going to assist them. That's all I'm asking.
I'm going to assist, and then they can use.
Do you accept her assistance when she tries to help you get
Alright.
fixed?
We can use the skins to make like a poncho thing that they put over.
Alright.
You know,
Can I
so
use the
slip,
caribou hide
drop it
to
off.
act as a bit of an extra insulator?
You're well
to dress it
protected or
to
not?
help one of them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So you came.
Who wants the heart of a caribou? you got
You have
it.
a fur-
You-
you have 3 leathers or 2 leathers.
Why is the heart of caribou?
I'm literally holding up a hide of a caribou.
Oh, okay.
So you literally would have caribou long johns.
Sweet.
Of course, you know it's an uncured hide. You'll smell wonderful.
Yes, you will smell amazing.
All right.
Elric's face over there says it all.
I'm from the city. I don't know these things.
Well,
Uh,
and with the extreme cold here, you won't notice the aroma anyway at first.
She heads out on point,
Okay. So, headed out again.
and she does have the walking staff with a fur wrapped around it. So her
Alrighty.
hands are nice and warm.
All right. So we're leaving behind the pile of gear and the ruins, and Hart down at the bottom of a cliff, and heading on our way back towards Anchorage.
Yes.
Roll percentage dice for me, anybody.
Ooh, okay. Nope.
Wait, is it this one?
Percentage
No.
Oh,
dice.
what's the
So it's at
Who got
got it.
anybody?
Any one
10 and
person.
100.
26.
That's all I needed.
So that's a percentage.
All right.
2 tens. The
It's
deca dice
just
and
any.
the decimal dice,
Oh.
or the 10 size.
So
And
this
the
one
100
and
size.
this-
So you roll 20. What is that? Okay.
It's only
I see your
10s
dice,
and
sir.
ones.
You're set.
Is that dice?
That's
But we're not all robots.
I'm gonna.
What's
We
that?
just needed
I
that
just
one.
needed one roll.
Yeah, we're talking about words.
We're also
Some
teaching. We're also
zero.
teaching players about the dice. So
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I'm
Sub-zero
gonna help.
weather.
that's why I didn't
Second
stop them
round.
from what they were trying to do. I could see what they're
Really?
trying to do.
This is freaking cold.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what was it? Tomb of Annihilation.
Yes, exactly. We're on the other end of the world.
Right.
All right. So,
We're in the most northern part that we know. Except we got.
so the only landmark you really have to work with is the mountain range to your left, which is known as the Shatterhorn.
Okay.
It runs the entire coast of the land, and so we know that Anchorage is inside of that range. So as long as you keep the mountains to your right and mountains to your left, going southbound, you should be fine. Open across all this open terrain. The weather has been fairly forgiving, as he said, kind of a warm winter in that there hasn't been storm wall after storm wall like it usually is. But we're coming into the end of the season as well, so the glowing of the horizon as you head into the morning hours keeps giving that increasing false sense that you might be getting almost to dawn. You know, and of course, then after it reaches about
At noon is the dawn, basically up here. It's when the sun gets closest to the edge of the horizon.
right, and then it falls away. But as you're making your way southward, you see something in the sky that is somewhat surprising. You're used to farther south. You're used to seeing them quite a lot. Airships, vessels floating across the sky, powered by either magic or music or something. Usually have like fans or propellers or something that's driving them forward. They usually look like ships, like a sailing vessel with canisters alongside that are giving lift, or balloons up above that are giving lift. But in this case, what you see kind of drifting across the horizon basically looks like a giant leaf. Maybe from this distance, it looks kind of like a. Are you familiar with like those elm thopter? The little blade has the little seedling on one end and has it.
Oh,
Right.
the one that, yeah.
Right. In this case, it's falling sideways through the air, so it's orbiting itself as it's drifting through the sky. It's extremely far away. It's basically the size of a seedling in the sky, but its positioning, holding there, gives you, you can like hold up your hands and compare to it and realize that it's something large and far away, drifting along the mountain range, headed southbound.
We all see it?
Yes.
We should take shelter so it doesn't, so that dragon doesn't see us or whatever it is. Maybe it's alright.
Yes, let's all hide within this wonderful ice.
She stopped. She's on
It's still pretty
point.
far away.
It's really far away.
Yeah.
It's,
I'll be right back.
She
right.
takes out her compass. It doesn't work as I have to compass because I have the stars. But it's got the little thing on it, the azimuth thing like that. And so she gets a sight on it. And then she looks at and then she lifts this up till it's kind of pointing at it. She sights along. What in heaven's name is that?
By this time, you can't understand a word
And
she's
you
saying.
can't understand. And then she just pulls the thing down and puts it away.
So she pulls out a magic box, points it at the thing, and then
Well, basically, it's
just
yeah,
just leave it at that, Gene.
yeah.
I can set my
Ice.
personal time
You know,
managing
Ice.
device.
I looked at her and I was like,
What time of day
You can't
is
tell
it?
me. Huh?
I know, I'm just
About
saying,
midday.
I'm saying something to
Ice.
you. You know,
Yes.
maybe that
Trust
next time. We gotta go up.
What?
I'm sorry, I was helping him with something. Dragon in the sky, or
No, it's like a looks like a propeller blade.
oh, the
uh,
thopter thing that he was talking
Right.
about.
Yeah.
Shit.
Looks like a seed orbiting itself.
Does it look like it's coming towards us?
Nope. It's paralleling the mountain range, headed south.
I have no frame of reference for this.
Right.
Shit.
Negligible.
You say
Right,
nothing?
Fine.
She's using the word for shit.
Right.
Because
But nobody knows what that word is. That's
Right.
not one of
Yeah,
your
I
words.
know.
That's unfortunately not one of our words that we know.
Alright.
Press on.
Yeah.
Right. Let's press on.
Yeah,
Okay.
right now.
If it comes after us, we can handle it then. But at the moment, I don't think any of us are going to be able to fly at it.
Well,
No.
not anymore.
Like, want me to plant you?
Look at you would be.
Okay. By about 2 in the afternoon, you now remember what cold is. Because although they helped you with all the clothing, getting it back on, you now are just chilled to the bone.
I really miss that liquid. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm cold and I want my liquid back.
She is sounding more like Veruga salt every day. I swear to God.
She sounds more like what?
Veruga salt every day.
Who's Aruba Salt?
Charlie in the
Gum
chocolate
chewer.
factory.
Oh,
I want it now.
That's
No, I
the
just all I said was like I miss my cold.
No, but you said the same thing about
Oh, yeah,
missing
no,
your
it was
mimic.
that one.
Mm.
Yeah, and
I'm
you have
thinking someone else.
a furry leather and a
It's the-
little poncho.
It's the spoiled rich girl.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The one who in Willy Wonka fell down the golden egg chute, and
yeah,
Charlie
but
fell
we
down
can't
the
afford
squirrel.
hypothermia, but
I'm just saying that liquid was magic.
Wow. Truth is truth. Can't hide the truth from the children. Out of the mouth of babes.
anyway, she just presses on.
Okay.
I mean, it's that while the sun shines and then try to warm her up later, but
About
if no one can communicate to me that she's
when I show signals that it's time to start setting up camp, it doesn't seem like you've traveled that far, but it's you've also detected that there's a weather pattern changing, and
There might be a bit of a storm brewing.
yes,
Red sky in the morning.
I wish we.
Set up camp. You
Can we
stake
make
down,
it equal?
stakes down deep.
Red sky in the morning, bad weather.
Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. Red sky at night, sailors
we have a tent, but if it blows, the tent won't stand because we can't dig it into the ground.
stakes deep. Very deep. Pull out the 8-foot long sticks.
The
From
javelins like
Hey, you got 4 of them.
That's true, dude.
It's
made of metal, right? They're all
no,
made of
no, just the tip is metal.
Oh.
If it can-
It's a wooden shaft with metal tips. So
Yeah.
one side is a driving point, and so is the other end. So me saying let's take a rock and start blunting it, it's just probably heresy.
No, a javelin has only one pounded end.
Oh,
Javelin has only one.
Some have 2. Some have
Never.
2. Not
a
often.
javelin.
Anyways,
don't argue it. Because
Okay.
a competitive javelin is pointed at both ends.
Okay.
Does not have a cap on one end. The only difference.
Okay.
So they are both pointed nonetheless. It does not have a flat end.
we all have a point.
But only one is metal, right?
As I said, only one is capped.
Okay.
Just
We don't have to worry about it.
stop.
Okay.
We set up camp. We stake down.
All right.
Start. Being a Fargold tent, is this one equipped so that the interior can have a fireplace inside, or is this one of the ones where that would be unwise?
Did we carry firewood with us?
Well, no, I'm just asking because we have oil, so we could make shift. We can basically use some sort of. I'm just asking: is it possible to heat up the tent?
You would heat up the tent. Yes.
There we go.
It doesn't even have to be what you're talking about. It just has to be basically it's a low
She
flat
helps
lantern.
to set it up, but once you guys start going inside, she does pull off the mitten and see if her silver hand has changed.
No.
You didn't flake off.
Oh.
No.
I was using magic this whole time, technically, I guess. So I was using that.
You never knew that she had
I
it.
know, I'm just saying right now.
Only one. Only one. Only one.
Only one that knows.
If you
Hey, you can help her.
if you use it up, you die.
What?
If you run out of that silver stuff, you can die.
And now you know how you felt, why you felt what you felt.
If I run out of it?
Yeah.
Oh. Am
And
I
you're
dead?
a wild mage, so that's even more worrisome.
Of course, I
I'm gonna
don't
take the care
understand
of
what
the
he's
horn
saying, so I
and
don't
during
know.
my downtime,
So
I'm
do
gonna be
script
carving
show.
it. I'm going to be carving it into the proper shape.
You
of what
and
I wanna
I
do,
We'll
and then when
work
it's
on
done, I'm gonna.
Fargle and Karen.
I'll tell you what
I
I'm
make
gonna
it English,
Okay.
Alright.
not
I'm
you,
gonna pray
You
for
don't
my
know.
party.
Fargle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
go to sleep.
Ice. Trust. Words. More words.
Trust. More.
Okay. Sure.
Alright.
Sure. This is shirt.
Clove?
Clothes.
Cloth?
Okay. No, she's. What would you? What? Name. What?
Put it fur.
Ah.
Name.
Hide.
Height. Okay, she takes the word. And then she says, shirt. She repeats the word hide. Shirt.
Ah, shirt.
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 Okay, so
Oh
Campus-
boy, did
campus-
we screw that up.
camp is set up, and you guys are just
Yeah.
muttering words back and forth, and you
Time
hear
for
a
daily lesson.
you hear a sound on the wind. It's the wind is starting to blow, so it's a little bit of like a moaning sound to the wind. But what you hear is
Him?
no, it's on the wind. I said it's a sound you hear, Gene.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know if everybody heard.
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna
yourself
like
out.
put an alarm on.
She gets up.
I was about to put an alarm, and I was like, maybe I should put an alarm right now. And I didn't though. Like, I'll keep it just in case.
Okay.
She gets up and goes to the edge of the tent opening.
Wind is howling. There's an odd light in the sky behind the clouds, so that the sky to the north kind of has a bluish cast.
Ice. Come. Look.
Ooh. The sun's coming. No. It's probably a borealis effect.
It is. It is, and
But
it's seen as a negative foreboding because it comes when you're getting closer to the arrival of the sun. They call it the false light of God.
So you're running out of time.
so does it look like an aurora borealis? or
No,
not?
it's just a glow. It's
Just a
much
glow.
much more brilliant than the aurora would be, and you're not looking straight at it. You're looking at just the glow from behind the clouds.
It's like how with the aurora you can sometimes see the green glow if you're not actually in it.
Yeah. It
But you
isn't
don't- but you
our
don't see
true aurora
the aurora.
borealis.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna say
It's the aurora bluealis.
Okay.
Yes, they don't.
Yeah, that's why, because it didn't look like the curtain.
As a matter of fact, you're a little bit concerned because that is kind of like the visual equivalent of the siren song.
Oh, bad things are coming.
Because if you see that, that means that there are people who would be foolish enough to follow that light, which is going to move you in opposition to the actual coming of the sun, right?
I'm in a tent. I'm sleeping.
I'm keeping
Actually,
first
you're
watch
cuddling.
while I'm.
And that basically,
I'm
to
cuddling him.
We didn't bring wood, did we?
No.
Hey man, I'm
Okay.
We have a gas.
Basically, we dogpile just like we
Well,
did.
we have a gaslight lantern that will heat up the tent to a manageable degree until it's time to put it out.
Gaslight.
It
lantern?
burns on whale oil,
Okay.
on the blubber oil.
Okay.
So it's gonna burn bright. Well,
She
actually,
puts her back to it.
No, burns a bluish light itself.
yeah, I was about to say it burns a.
As a matter of fact, the fact the light outside is blue
It's
also
similar.
is no. To you, it's a sign to shut off the internal light because the spirit of of that light can enter your place and brings insanity.
It's the belief. So
Right.
Once everyone else is ready, I put it out, and I'm gonna keep first watch while I'm continuing my carving.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. Like, I was gonna put alarm on our around us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put alarm before I
So
go
do
bed.
you designate people who won't set off alarm?
I'm gonna set it so like if it's something that's not us, the 5 of us, it turns out like it screams out. If there's anything that moves that's not the 5 of us that's living,
So it'll either be a handbell, which everyone can hear, or it'll be a ping that will wake you specifically up.
it's a handbell.
Okay. So, after you guys have turned in and that howl from the wind, that weird chirping sound increases and gets closer. Sounds like it might be on both sides of the tent, might be all around because there's several different pitches of that. And all of a sudden, clang, 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 your bell goes off.
With the trolley.
Ding, ding,
I get up.
ding with
I
the
get up
bell.
fast. I grab my. What do I have?
Shh. Hold.
Oh, night vision.
So you're gonna go open the curtain or open the
Well, I try and calm
Well,
everyone
okay.
so they're quiet.
because it's his spell. I'm having
True.
him wake up first. So you've awakened to the sound of the bell. What do you do?
I get up and grab my dagger, and
And?
I grab her because she's the one that's badass, and like I try to wake her up.
Who's on watch?
I was originally, but I don't know if I.
You would have had to pass it on to
Yeah,
somebody.
I would have had to.
But
pass
but
the
if you
job. Or-
this is why you guys have to fix this stuff before you start the night. So who was second watch?
Probably her, honestly.
Well, it doesn't make any difference to me. I put anywhere
you
I
there?
could.
Okay. The issue is that the bell went off, and now you've got 2 of you awake, and there's
Okay.
Yeah.
something
There we
has
She just
caused a
said-
sound.
There we go.
This way. Wake up. He wakes up.
Okay, you're waking
quietly.
everybody up. Okay, that's all I need to know. Everybody's now awake. Middle of the night. The outside, the blue is the light outside is strong enough that it's coming through the tent. You can actually see each other in the half light inside the room. It's
Okay. You understand that.
what are you gonna do?
Just wait.
I'm gonna suggest holding. Yeah, going down, making. If something comes in, then we do something. But if nothing comes in, we pass.
Whee! There's something moving at the curtain door. There's something messing with the flaps. Whee! Whee! Curtain flops open. About a 4-pound kitten tumbles in, 6-legged,
Oh.
I pick it up.
covered
This is a bad thing.
covered with white fur, and its little feet are way too big for its size. I mean, it's cute as a button because it's all feet and it has a long tail, and its nose is there's part in some ways when you look at it, you think of it looking like a bear cub, and then in other ways you look at it looks like an oversized
You
cat.
said how many legs does it have?
6-legged. Weaker.
Can I give it to me?
As you approach
I'm
it,
actually trying to stop it.
Yeah. he's holding you in the chest as you step forward. The little thing starts to toddle forward, and it looks like it's way off balance. Like those big, clumsy feet are not built for it.
I'm taking my longbow and I'm trying to back through the Kurt.
Okay. We Kirby. He pushes it back.
Then I close the flap
Okay.
and I try to hold it down.
Okay. As you do, you can feel the weight of several more of them landing on the outside of the tent. So you're holding it closed, but they're outside of it now.
So cute though.
How do you get? I don't want
These are nuisances. They bring bigger problems.
Anyway, they tumble around out there, and you hear them crying, and the wind outside sounds so terrible, and you're
Oh.
thinking of those poor things.
Alright.
I'm staying in the freaking tent. This is all you.
Fuck. Alright.
Have you
I've
heard,
learned from
have
my
you heard
lessons.
of the Shallow Water tribe?
No.
Well, no one else will because of these things.
Nice. BP. It's well done.
Alright. I'm going to
He's holding you against it. Are you going to go against him?
I'm actively giving a warning. These are not to be trusted.
I just want to toss him some meat. So.
No, I'm with this guy. I trust him. This is
I
his
don't
land.
I don't trust anything he said.
Paladin.
And
Paladin.
I don't want
know
them,
he's a
I don't want them
paladin.
to suffer.
Okay, you
Sounds-
wouldn't have brought all of your supplies inside anyway.
Yeah,
Just for clarification.
Just me
Okay.
outside.
So you hear some scrum, some sound of activity outside, some crashing and things like that, like they might be getting into stuff. And by the time the sound of the wind is at its pinnacle, the sound of these little critters goes away.
The last time I tried to be nice to a critter, I got hypnotized.
Ice. What?
Danger?
Ah,
So
I take over.
after sunrise, when you finally get up and around, the wind is still what would be the closest to dawn you'll get. The sky is back to its usual reddish color. The clouds have somewhat dissipated. There's a good 3 foot of snow over the top of the camp. The pile of supplies basically has been torn through, and a good chunk of a good portion of the meat pieces are missing. And the number of footprints indicate there must have been probably 50 or 60 creatures. And if they'd have gotten in, you wouldn't have been here. They would have basically stripped the camp.
You could check by the meat marks that they must be baggy.
piranha.
No,
No
they're
piranha.
not.
There's
There's actually a
in
species.
meta.
Yeah, you know what
I
they are.
know what these are and everything, but I'm at least giving
Giving them
the I'm not trusting because blue things come into your tent at night.
right.
These must be the blues.
Yeah. Beware the blue.
See, this is why I trust him. This is his turn, not mine.
I just pick up like
Yeah, but they would literally there's places where they were eating through hide to get to to your food supplies.
they chewed through rope and everything. Oh no.
Yeah.
They would have. There's probably a few really bad dent marks on any metal pieces on here.
Ate bones.
Oh, wait, my
We
button's
found a skeleton.
Yeah.
We don't know where he came from, but he was stripped and cleaned in a few
Oh.
minutes.
You look like the bear.
So besides the meat, the bones, and
The fact that you lost some of your gear, and there's still no sign of heart. Starting on your second day back towards town, you got 6 days left.
just so,
I have a question. We heard lost about how much of our supplies.
A day.
A day's worth of rations.
day.
Out of the 3 days you took with you, you've lost a day.
and the bones.
Okay.
And it is 9:40, so we're gonna go ahead and call it because they're gonna close this down at 10 o'clock anyway.
Okay.
Everybody gets 300 experience points.
How many?
300.
Would I have been able to finish? So actually, let me run it past you. I wanted to take the caribou horn, carve it out, and make an ulu. Do you know what that is, by any chance?
Please.
So an ulu. Let's see if I can actually pull up a picture. It's actually a tool. Yeah, an ulu. So an ulu.
Okay.
So it's it's
It's a
supposed
scraping knife.
it's a traditional knife used by Inuits.
Yep.
And the Alaska for that. For skinning and
Yeah.
cutting of animal hides and
Sure.
everything. I wanted to make one with Valara in her language on one side carved into it, and then on the Fargo language on the other.
Cool. All right.
Aw, you're so sweet.
And there you go.
Oh,
Here's an ulu. So on one side it has
Ulu?
Ulu. U-L-U.
ooh. She says thank you.
You being from Alaska would actually recognize this.
Yeah, they use it as the head, also known as a
skin joint.
head knife.
So on one
It's
side
used
it
in
has,
leatherworking and scraping hides and
Right.
cutting up everything. Blubber,
so on one side it has Valara in English,
yeah,
and in the other side in Fargo.
and Fargo.
So
So
it has your name in both our languages.
So wait, did humans come from
Hello?
Earth to here?
We'll talk about that after we get off stream.
Okay.
Let me get us ready to sign out. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
And we will see you
Adios.
all next time. Make sure you watch us on Friday at 7 p.m. I'm sorry, 6 p.m. Sunday at 1, and Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. again. All right. Everybody say bye.
Bye.